Hello, this is John Miller, the creator of The Rest of Everest. I think I can safely say that this show is, without a doubt, the most in-depth look into the entire experience of what it takes to climb Everest, as well as some other peaks throughout the Himalayas. But all of the events in the series are shown in chronological order, so if you're new to the show, please go all the way back to episode 000 and watch everything in order. That's truly the best way to enjoy it. Thanks.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 133. Meanwhile, on Kalapatar.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to The Rest of Everest. I'm John Miller. Still got a bit of a frog in my throat, so hopefully it won't be too hard to understand me. But this week's episode is going to be very, very cool. You're going to get to see what base camp was like in the morning for the four of us who were there, but you're also going to get to see what it was like going up on top of Kala Patthar. So, joining me this week is a larger group of people. It's not everyone from the trek, but it's a bunch of everyone. Could go down the list. It's Tilo, it's Chris Marquardt, and I'm supposing that Monica's there too, right, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wasn't sure if I heard you or not, Monica. Andy and Steve Wolf, Jeff Coe, John Coleman, and Steve Beatty, and I guess myself as well. So let's go ahead and get up to just above Gorak Shep. So here we go. So starting off, Steve Wolf shot this footage. Steve, what are these birds here?
These are Tibetan snowcocks, and I actually saw 3 of them, and 2 of them walked by that you're seeing now, and then later another one walked by. And the first one chased the other 2 up a Kalapatar, which is what you see there in the very background. And then they all took off and flew away.
He doesn't need to, he's a mountain goat.
Keep going. I'm not taking a picture.
So this looks like, this is the kind of weather that we were all experiencing that day. And so this is one of John Farrow's amazing panoramas of the view. And see, there's Everest. And there's Changsei.
Everest just hiding behind the other mountains.
The morning started out just beautiful, and as we were climbing up, we kept hearing the roar of avalanches across the glacier.
Could you see them?
I finally caught one on a film, or I guess on my digital camera. I finally got one toward the base of it, and it was just amazing.
And it looked very small from where we were, so that gave us a real good scale of the size of things.
Yeah, as we were climbing up and looking up at Pamori, we saw climbers at their advanced base camp getting close to the summit.
Yeah, Karma and I were looking at those same climbers from base camp. He found them, and since Karma was my cameraman, trying to find all the climbers for the icefall, he said, "Did you see the guys on Pamori?" I was like, "I don't see anyone up there," and he was able to zoom in on them with my camera and find them.
Well, they're just tiny dots, even from the top of Kalapatar, which is part of Pamori. Even seeing those tiny dots that we knew were people, you just couldn't really tell the scale. It's just so huge.
Whole bunch of people going up. Did you guys was it a pretty crowded day?
It didn't seem very crowded. It seemed like we were by ourselves most of the time. There was one crazy guy up there that was just dressed in a blanket.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is morning at Mount Everest Southside Base Camp. Pretty cool to say that. John's over here. You probably can't. There he is. There I am. Hard to see. Hard to see him.
All that
so this
loft.
is our daily morning update. Very, very cold last night. Getting into the tent. We don't know whose tent we're in right now, but this tent belongs to one of the climbers on this expedition who they're actually down a few thousand feet. Not exactly sure where. Maybe Dingboche or Pengboche. With the goal of breathing you can see how John's not talking much yet, but you can really feel that we're definitely altitude.
Yeah, when I have trouble talking, you know we're at altitude.
Heavy breathing. Definitely not acclimated yet, but did you have any headaches or any problems last night?
No, not at all, other than being cold. That's about it.
Yeah, mostly the problems that I'm having right now are just my lower lip. I had to breathe through my mouth all last night because my nose is pretty congested, so I breathing through your mouth up here, just dries out your lips. It is currently about 6:30 in the morning, and we are, I'm not exactly sure of the altitude here. I'm never sure about the altitude anywhere in this region because everyone and their dog seems to have their own altitude reading. But I think general altitude of base camp is 17.3, 17.6.
I think more like 17.5.
17.3, 17.6, and then he chooses the middle, 17.5. But so we're not sure exactly what's right, but
the official figure is 17.6.
There's a lot of talky on camera. But what I wanted to do here this morning, it's 6:30 right now, which means I was able to charge my
That's
iPhone
anyone from Apple watching this. The iPhones, aside from reception, they were great.
Film tent. It was great. Because my goal was to show Dawa some of the film. This morning I want to call my friend Dave Recht. Dave is a viewer of the podcast. He does live in California. And it must have been in late 2007. He emailed me after watching some of the shows and said, "John, your stuff is great. I have to go see that place for myself. Hopefully one day I can do that. I'm going to retire soon, and it'd be really great to do something like that." And in his email signature was all of his contact information. So I always warn people that usually if I get a phone number in the contact in contact information in the signature of an email, I try to give people a call. So I called Dave right away, and long story short, he ended up coming out here to do the Everest, the South Trek in the Khumbu, in the Solo-Khumbu region, and had a great time. It was just him and a guide, and he used mountain tribes, which was really cool. So he knows Karma Babu back in Kathmandu and everything. So he sent me some prayer flags, and when I got them, I realized that he just really enjoyed the region. He was a fan of my show. He also was a fan of Chris's show, Tips from the Top Floor.
And has been a workshop participant.
Either later that day or the next day.
Yep, he has
I live
been.
outside town,
Met.
about 20 minutes.
Very nice
I got
guy.
the idea about this whole trek, and so here we are. I mean, John is only here right next to me because of Dave. Now I'm going to call him from Everest Base Camp. Come on, phone.
I know some of you haven't gotten your emails returned or replied to
editing capabilities
from me. It's just because
the phone is trying to find
I tend to get a little bit busy once in a while. But
and we can tell it is a very clear day.
me calling Dave here is one
Very good.
cool
like
thing
that.
about podcasting is it can be very personal between the producer and the audience,
Definitely.
which I really like.
And good views, yeah.
And the inside of the tent is covered in snow and frost, but it's not from outside. So cold last night that all of our breath, the moisture from our breath, froze in the inside of the tent. I asked John not to breathe last night, but
I tried, but it just wasn't working out for me.
you really gotta work on that, man.
I'll do my best.
Hey Dave, it's John Miller from the Rest of Everest. Man, I really wanted to give you a call because I want you to know that I am in a tent right now at Everest Base Camp. Dave, you are the reason that we're here. Your desire to come out and do the trek was a real inspiration, and just wanted to thank you. There's only 4 of us here at Base Camp. The rest of the group stayed down at Gorak Shep. Hopefully they're climbing up Kalapatar right now. Dave, I just want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart just thanks for being a viewer of the show. Thanks for being a listener to Chris's podcast. And without you, Dave, I don't think we'd be here, because your desire to come out and see the stuff for yourself really was an inspiration. So, Dave, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll talk with you in person soon from maybe Kathmandu. And just really, Dave, thanks so much. I want you to just know that you're the inspiration behind this entire trek. And now the sun is coming out, so we're going to go film around base camp. So, Dave, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah, and he really was. It was the spark that got the idea for these Everest workshops. It was from talking to him.
Awesome.
It's amazing how it all works out,
Well, we'll say thanks to Dave, too.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
It's growing into an even greater emergency.
Okay, so this is, I guess, where they're going to make fun of me.
Not 8 a.m.
That's for sure. You got that
There's, I think you need to have a viewer warning. Too much video.
Oh, it's part of the experience. It's the real deal. Just be glad you weren't John Coleman.
No, I'll keep
I know so much more about John Miller now.
I'm the editor.
Well, I'll put a plug in for the ladies. There's a utility thing that you can use to do the same type of thing for females, so you don't have to go outside to pee.
Did you?
Freshen.
Freshette or something, isn't it?
A freshette, yeah.
Yeah. That's my pee bottle. So guess what I'm about to do? I think, though, that Jeff Coe holds the record. He'd fill like, 3-4 gallons up a night?
At least 2 liters.
At least 2 liters of pee. It's just amazing.
But that's because I hydrated properly, and that's what you're supposed to do.
True.
John Penis in this one, but
yeah, no John Penis in this one. But as I was telling everyone, because of how cold it was, there wasn't much John Penis to see anyway. It's like, where to go?
Too much information.
Yeah, don't worry. In the next episode, we'll be talking about poop the whole time, so it's all good.
Does everybody remember the Seinfeld episode with the shrinkage factor?
Imagine the shrinkage factor at 10 below.
We need another.
Is there a scale for that?
Yeah, we need another scale. We need another
shrinkage scale. Oh goodness!
Instead of it being the Mark Miller scale.
Let me tell you though that having a pee bottle is a lifesaver. Yeah, and as soon as I tried, I couldn't go. Must have had stage fright.
I recall this morning update only got weirder as the morning went on.
Yeah, and actually this morning
most
update,
of which will never be seen.
Now these tents are the mountaineering tents. These are, I think, the Mountain Hardwear Trango 3.1s, and they are much smaller than the ones that we had been sleeping in. Those green tents.
I mean, you can tell. I mean, just me sitting up, my head is brushing up against the top of the tent, which is why I'm kind of leaning off to the side.
Completely frozen.
But we left a very nice note to the owners of that tent. I think it was.
Did you ever hear anything from them?
No, never heard. Well, we saw them on the. I saw them on the trail on the way back to Gorak Shep. They were coming up, and I said thanks in person, but no emails or anything. But yeah, we left a very nice note thanking them for use of their tent. Because it's a bit of an invasion of privacy, even though they didn't really have much in there. It's still, we weren't expecting to be able to actually spend the night at base camp. So this was a real bonus to be able. Usually people just go up to base camp and then they go right back down to Gorak Shep a few hours later. But we were able to actually stay there, and I think that was a favor that Babu did for me because of
the ice fall. Just so you know. Is right there. Okay.
Because of the podcast and because he knows I like to film everything.
Eating a melted Snicker bar. Kalapatar.
Classic footage.
We'll go over here.
Yeah, I think this was the Mars bar.
Mori.
So this is Steve Wolf filming, of course.
Around. Wish I could see the screen.
And for the record, we're 1,000 feet higher than base camp.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everest. there.
See what you missed out on?
Sure, be that way, Andy.
Okay.
Look at the view. Look at the view.
It's not a competition, people.
Can't see the top of
Oh yeah, it was.
Of course it is.
When you're on a John Miller, Chris Marquardt trek, you're all winners.
someplace out there. Abu Dhabi.
You didn't say wieners, right?
No.
That was an earlier scene.
Yeah. Thanks.
And
Oh, God.
I don't know what's over there. I thought we could see Cho-Oyu, but I don't see it. Okay, here's view from the top of Kalapatar, and we'll scan up.
Yep,
Everest
there's where we
Base
are.
Camp. And up the Kumbu Icefall. And the top of Chumalungma. Hidden there behind the clouds. There's Everest Base Camp. And the Kumbu Icefall. Scanning up, see if we can see the top of Chumalungma up there.
So yeah, I guess the clouds really just
You
start
can
to
see it
close
there
in
through the clouds.
on you guys.
Well, we had a good view of Everest all the way up.
So I'm going to give John a little bit of room to maneuver in the tent so he can finish packing up. And I'm going to go check it outside. So enough filming in this little tent, time to film outside and in the big tent. So here is our first view of a completely clear blue sky Everest Base Camp south side.
Woohoo!
It was pretty dark when we got in the night before, so yeah, that was me.
It was snowing. Yeah, it was snowing on us when we got in.
Oh, it's a tiny little seracs.
Yeah, I get some real good footage of that that stuff. They're actually like these boulders, also just balanced on these ice pedestals. How beautiful! I'm panning over towards the direction of Pamori. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's great.
So the boulder, which is an erratic boulder, since it's riding the glacier down, is acting as an umbrella, hiding the sun from the pillar of ice underneath it. So you get these. Some of them are huge. Some of them are like the size of like a Volkswagen,
An SUV.
Bug or SUV. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
I like this shot of John a lot. You can tell he's kind of like, I can't quite comprehend that I'm here. His mouth is sort of slightly agape.
Well, it's mostly because I was trying to breathe.
Okay, but I just love it. You're looking around and you're just like, I'm actually here.
Look at all those toilet tents.
Yes, we will get up close and personal with one in a future episode. I think that's just going to be pretty cool. It's all the stuff that Appa Sherpa, what he was telling us about in the interview I did with him a couple episodes ago about how everything gets packed out now. Okay, so this is the west shoulder of Everest. So again, you can't see the peak of Everest from here, but you can see the west shoulder, which is on one side of the icefall, and then I guess Nuptse's on the other side of the icefall. But just these are those great scale kind of shots where you can get an understanding for exactly how big everything is out there. It's still going.
It's just amazing.
Yep, I'm still going.
It's gorgeous rock.
Still going.
Is it never gonna stop?
That's the Lhotse wall right back there. There's the top of the icefall.
Oh.
And we're still coming down. Zoom out a little bit.
Oh, it's hard to imagine going up through there.
Some of the images that we'll show you in the future of these little dots of people walking through there, it gives you scale in a way it's hard to comprehend. And we're still going. All right, so now we're getting into base camp here, but you can see how far away the icefall looks like it's just right there, but it's not. Scale is always misleading. It's actually quite a bit further away than those yellow tents.
Cool shot. That's really cool, John.
Thank you. And then this is a little stupa right here, which I thought was really pretty, and it was right near our tent, so I filmed it. I didn't walk around base camp very much, but I did walk around our camp a ways.
Is that Nupsay that's in the background?
I think that's the west shoulder. I wasn't actually paying attention there. I was looking at the perf flags.
Okay.
I think it's the west shoulder.
Yeah, I think it was, John.
But you can hear there wasn't even any wind that morning. But
Oh, we had it all on.
you guys had it, yeah. We had 2 very different days on the same day.
Look how dark blue the sky is.
There's Tendy's hat.
Yeah, you can see Tendy's pink hat in the lower left corner.
I think this is Chris and me coming up to the summit finally.
Yeah, so actually I have this whole shot in here, and Steve is talking over it the whole time, but the wind is so bad you can't really hear what he says. So I'm going to talk over you, Steve. I hope you don't mind. But what I did was I wanted to leave this in because it really shows just how difficult it is up there to move, because I think the black clad person in the front is Chris, and then Andy is not far behind, but you can see the pace there. The summit is right there. They can see Tilo's in the green up front, Monica's in the black up front, and they obviously can see Steve, who's standing a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter that it's within view. You can't move any faster than you're already going.
True. Very small steps, very slow, and then take breaks every couple minutes.
Well, plus it was also extremely slippery, as I remember you guys saying.
Yeah, and this was after Chris and I were really kind of at the end of our energy reserves. We had to take a break and share an energy bar a little bit below that and talk ourselves into keep on going up.
How are you guys, aside from being tired, how are you feeling? Like, were you guys have throbbing headaches or any other problems?
No, I didn't.
No, nothing
great.
like that.
It was just exhaustion, basically.
Uh-huh.
But no
That
headaches.
100 feet.
Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
Last 100 feet was really hard to keep going because it was slippery. You couldn't see a trail. I mean, basically, you just walking on ice and snow and rock. And, you know, aside from the exertion, it just was very, very treacherous steps. And that made it even harder.
And then there was our Sherpa who brought up the drinks. He was wearing Crocs, no socks.
Yeah.
And carrying the big pot of hot drinks for us.
And I think he actually needed 1 hour to go up to the summit. And I'm not sure, Steve, we need 2 or 3 hours to get up there.
Oh, I needed at least 4.
Yeah, I think it was around 4.
Yeah. And the worst thing about Kala Patthar for me was it was just from a motivational point of view. When you look at it from below, it looks so simple and easy, and then you are at what you think is the summit, and then you find out that the summit is
a false summit. Yep.
It's a false summit. So you just see all those very small people very far in the distance at the actual summit, and you go, oh no, don't do that to me.
So what staff members were with you guys?
Tandy was in front. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then one of the Lapsangs, I think, brought us tea.
Okay.
No, it was a Pasang Dawa.
Oh, Pasang Dawa, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the white jacket.
Oh, true, yeah, actually. Yeah, and he made it up there in no time.
Oh, but not the Pasang Dawa who was my porter, because he was up at base camp.
But it was Pasang, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the many Pasangs.
Yeah, there's Chris. Woohoo!
There's Chris finally.
Watch this. I like this pose he strikes. Yeah!
I did it.
You know, that's quite an accomplishment for us that live at low elevation. I think the elevation of Columbus is 1,100 feet.
Oh, not even that.
Well, what I also like from this episode and the last one is, like I said before, that John Coleman was struggling with all kinds of stomach problems and everything, and sleep problems at the beginning of the trek. And as we got higher, he got better, and so he was able to make the base camp. And then the guy filming this footage you're watching right now, Steve, Steve was thinking a few episodes ago he was going to just go back down and stay in a hotel. But here he is, and he actually is standing higher than everyone else on Kala Patthar. So lots of respect to both you guys. You guys hung in there. I knew you'd do well if you could hang in
up there. I climbed about 10 or 15 feet higher than we were supposed to, and Kendi didn't like that.
You've got the altitude record for the trek, then. No one went higher than Steve Wolf.
Here comes Andy.
It's not a competition.
Last step.
There it is.
Yes.
So that was about 100 feet of altitude gain for them that we just watched.
Well, and
by the way,
also
speaking of
Okay.
altitude distance, Monica and I are at about 150 feet right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where you are right now.
Hallo liebe Zuschauer vom Promi-Geflüster.
Oh yeah, that was
Hier ist Chris Marquardt.
That was me recording for another podcaster.
Mount
Just a little greeting.
Kalapatar.
What podcast?
Hintergrund hinter den Wolken.
Oh, it's just a video podcast here, like interviews with celebrities and stuff.
Celebrities, I like it.
Celebrities, real celebrities.
Well, since he's speaking German, look in the back and you see Andy and Steve have that travel section again in the newspaper, and Steve is nice enough to be holding up a Rest of Everest patch.
And it's me taking the photos. I actually have to send it to you.
Yes, we do want them.
I like the way they...
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, hello, this is Chris Marquardt with tips from the top floor and daily photo tips with Chris.com. I'm up here on Mount Kalapatar, 5,555 meters high. You can see it in the background. Apart from someone playing the Irish flute, you can see Mount Everest in the background. I've never been that high in my life. Neither on drugs nor on a real place. This is just awesome. The air is super thin. I hope you can actually hear me. And yeah, wishing you a good time. Signing off. Bye now.
Look at him.
Yay! So, Steve, when I was editing this video for our commentary, I just perused the Guinness Book of World Records website, and I searched for about half an hour. I found no record of the highest flute player in the world. So I think if you submitted it, you'd actually get your own world record, because I don't think anyone else has played or at least has officially played a flute that high, and we have proof. So you might want to think about that. That'd be pretty cool to frame and put on your wall, I think.
Yeah, you need to go for that, Steve.
Yeah, your tone, you could have been better, Steve. I think so. You could have done a better job. Next time you got to really
give
commit.
him a 9.5 out of 10 just for the effort.
A 9.5 out of 10, and hopefully he's also at a 2.0. Well, thanks a lot, guys. This was fun to go back and forth. The next episode, since this is all the footage we have of Kalapatar, next episode it's going to be dedicated to probably just base camp, because we filmed a lot. Next episode, I'll probably have all you guys on, so you can ask us questions, but I don't think there'll be any footage of you guys down at Gorkshep for a couple more weeks. So, all right, so let's, as Chris said, signing off. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk with you next week. Bye.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye. John.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every day, and watching the show has become a part of many people's weekly routine. The show will always be free to download, but it's by no means free to produce. Please help me cover my costs by making a small monthly or one-time donation from the right sidebar on my website, and in return I'll give you some cool bonus materials. A donation of any amount will grant you access to some interesting video content, including high-definition versions of several podcast episodes. A one-time donation of $25 or more, or any of the monthly donation options, will additionally grant you access to a downloadable version of the film Everest the Other Side, which episodes 1 to 61 are based on. I really cannot express how vital these donations are, and if you've made a donation, thank you so much. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywu.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.